OneCircuit Mailbag, coming to you live from downtown Tasmania. OneCircuit, there's a lot of isopropanol here, and we're okay with that. Fairly light, tiny guy, revealing dip 8 chips. Dip 8. And the dip 8 is hard to get out one at a time. Yeah, I like to stick together, these guys. Wow. Here we go. And if I just zoom in a little bit down there without doing the crash zoom and see what the camera can pick up. TDA 2822. Right. So these are also the amplifier chips. So the D2822 I have done a video on. The TDA 2822 is sort of like the legitimate, let's say. I mean, we never know till we get it fired up. But the legitimate version of that chip. And what it's going to do is, with very few components, we'll be able to put this on a board. Very few components required. It's a very simple chip, and get some amplification out of it, some audio amplification. That is the plan. Op amp, low noise, very useful for audio applications. 3 watt, I think, but I'll put the specs up here so we can see it. But I'm pretty sure it's built at 3 watt, which is nice. One thing I liked about it, especially the D2822, was how good the sound was, considering it was, just a few cents per chip. Right. What does this hold? Oh, more packaging. Very good. And I have no idea what that is. It says LED light. Really? Oh yes, LED light. Grow lights. Wow, that's pretty fancy. So I do have a hothouse here, and I also do happen to live in a climate where the sun doesn't shine for, during the winter months for very long during the day. So I was thinking that it might be useful to get some grow lights, and I have had to play with some smaller ones, but these guys are pretty high-powered ones. Now, from memory, I have no idea. Oh, it actually says 50 watts. So I think the best thing to do is to probably connect them up and see if we can't get some light from them. Yeah, I'm not brave enough to try these in the end, because just noticing here we are AC 220 volts upside down there to get the 50 watts out. And I'm not playing with that. I'll leave that to smarter people than me. So probably what I'll do is actually set up a housing for these and do a little bit of reading about how to connect them up. But I will get an electrician who's qualified to work with 220 volts AC to actually connect them up. Because one thing I don't want to do on this channel is fry myself live. I mean, good for the numbers, but not good for me. Burnt guy. Maybe down this edge here might be okay. Have a bit of a look. Nope, not okay. Let's try this edge. Just trying to feel for what's in there. I don't want to cut it. And we have, I think, LEDs. So, yeah, these ones I think should be able to test okay, because I think from memory they are 9 watt, and I think they are DC, which should be fine. So, yeah, look at that. And their own little, what are they? Regulators, drivers, own little drivers probably. So let's get a little bit closer and then fire 1 or 2 up. Also not DC, unfortunately. Should have known that straight away looking at the N and L, live and neutral. This is an MB, let's have a look, I've forgotten already, MB104, I think. That is MB10F, bridge rectifier, and you can see the plus minus coming out there. And then this guy on the other side is a, what can we see there? So EV22100A. That's weird. I think that's different to this one here. So this one is, yeah, that's different. This is an MLS 3535A. Presumably they're both the same as in terms of LED drivers. The internet's a little bit cagey on what they actually are. Very obscure Chinese data sheets for both of these, really. MB104F though, definitely a bridge rectifier. Probably not going to be playing around with those too much. In fact, I've already blown this one up by playing around. So these will probably go straight to the cupboard and never to be seen again, maybe. And I need to check my late night buying a little more closely if I'm going to be starting buying these sorts of things. Ridiculous. A pile of stuff-inspired parcel, I suspect, by the weight and feel of it. And I think what we've got in here are rollers. Yes. So recently, Pile of Stuff did a video about some replacement rollers for his Creality Creality Ender 3 V2, and following his link and the explanation of what they're for, I got some as well. Let's have a look on the Creality where they might end up. So there's one of the rollers on the hot end, and they're used all over the place in the Creality Ender 3 V2. You can see them everywhere, and they do wear out eventually. And so very sensible of Pile of Stuff to recommend via his channel that you get hold of a handful just in case. Very, very, very light. And containing one packet of one thing. This looks like it might be an RP2040 inspired little module. So yeah, look at that. It's so small. Having a look at the centimeter grid, you can see how small it is. I'm going to go right down and have a closer look. RP2B2 Pack 107 and the 42nd week of 2021. I don't know about the provenance of this chip. Pakistan, I'm guessing, is where it was made. They're still making them. I mean, you can't get chips for love nor money at the moment, but the Raspberry Pi ones are still being churned out. How legitimate they are, I don't know. A lot of the pins broken out, which is nice. And then you've got your boot and reset buttons on this side. So yeah, it looks like it might be a nice little unit, but I guess the only way to find out is to actually fire it up and see. What do we have here? IP150, yeah, not really sure. But I'll plug it into the machine and see if we can't get something out of it. They're quite cheap. I mean, they're like $4 or $5, so pretty equivalent to a Raspberry Pi Zero, but in a much, much tighter format. Yeah, interesting little device. Ooh, a bit chunky. And it is, wow, many resistors. Yeah, so have been using a few resistors lately. Interesting what you run out of, actually. But this one seemed like a fairly comprehensive kit. Yeah, many resistors in there. So hopefully we'll be able to find what we're looking for. So nothing special in mind, just replacing and making sure that I've got everything that I need when I need it. The box, and inside a Raspberry Pi, an Orange Pi. Who can get a Raspberry Pi these days, honestly? But looks like some Orange Pi action here. So case, power cord, and a couple of screws. Don't throw those away. And we've got an Orange Pi, and I think this is probably going to be an Orange Pi PC Plus. So where would that be labeled? Here we go. Yeah, PC Plus. I don't know if you can see that. I don't really want to get it out of its packet just now, but it is PC Plus. So I'll put the specs up of that guy. We've seen it before. A bit of a workhorse around here for things like the Pi hole, for things like Octoprint, for a media server, and things like security cameras. Yeah, cheap, good, and available at the moment, which is the main thing. Good one. That is the mailbag for the week, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.